Boys and girls, dudes and dudettes. Okay, I'm busy with 34 class GM for myself. Um, I do not want to build the 35, the customer one, just yet because we got a lot of new stuff and I like to test it out first before one actually do one to sell. All right, so now, seeing that I'm actually just doing this because I am pretty hotful at this stage for sanding. I've done the chassis, I've welded the frame because I can as weld now. Took me about 6 times to get it straight. But that's not what this is about. You know, when I did the 34 the first time, there was a hell of a lot of evolution going on. I mean, we started with a Perspex body from Jan at Sarum, and then we went to another one from Sarum, and then I started doing the printed ones from here. And just to get everything perfect, I went to Kuduspoort, where all those pictures came from. And I actually got up there with a measuring tape and a laser thing, and I took measurements of it where what sits. And yeah, we had a couple of problems on my body, small things, that was very few people would notice. But this specific one now, I want to do absolutely perfect. I have a plan of which I will tell you later. But this is just a little banter about the Lima body. You know, as bad as their 5E was, as good is their Class 34. I mean, this thing, I just went through all my pictures and stuff now. And, well, this what you see here is now right up to there, okay? But I went through the drawings, number one, and I'm not too keen on drawings, that a lot of stuff changes from the drawing to the actual train. And, bar the air horns being in the wrong place, and a couple of plates that's missing, and that thing there where I don't know what the hell that is. This is a very, very good body. It is actually exceptional. I just cut the intake. This one here, because it's shorter this side than the other side, which was one of the things that we never did on mine. So this door moved back a bit, so everything is now in the right spot. But back to this thing, I also never had the line there, which I just scribed now onto this body. I want to get a sort of a perfect body out of this. We also print little pips on this here, which I sanded off. I'm gonna do the hexagon bolt heads on there. I've got some Ming bolts and nuts, styrene bolts and nuts that will work here. And this being an ASA body, I can actually glue them on with normal Tamiya ultra thin or whatever. So yes. Now, when I went to Kuduspoort and I measured the 34 body, there was a lot of things that did not make sense from the body we had, the fiberglass body we had back in the day. Oh, not the fiberglass, the Perspex body. And when Chris sort of drew this thing, I got like the preliminary body, and there was a couple of things that we changed along the way. But now that we're doing the doors and everything separate, you only realize that from a absolute scale perspective, that Lima body is very close to 100%. You know, I almost cannot even fathom that the same people did the 5E. You know, on the 5E, there's not a single panel on that thing that's right. And, you know, to get from that to this, yeah. You know, the handrails, they could have made that separately applied, but this was a budget train. I mean, and it's old. This is from years ago. You know, I would love to see what somebody like Markland, even Rocco, guys like that would do with this thing. Now, when you have separately applied details, how pretty they can do this thing. It is really, really such a pretty train, eh? I love the GT26. It's that and its smaller brother, the Class 35. They're such pretty locos, eh? So, yes, this was actually such a good body that I think a lot of modelists, especially in our large scale now, use that as a reference. And it's absolutely good enough to do that. For all you guys that want to build these things and don't want to buy one from me for thousands of rands, and you know, want to do your own thing, if you can draw from this body, you know, your model, and scale it right, you there, man. You there. This is a very, very good body. I mean, we had a discussion back in the day about how, when we actually started designing the 34, about how accurate this body was. And there was guys saying, no, it's about 80%. I was like, no. I wrote all my measurements in a book, and I actually scaled this out. And it's bloody perfect. I mean, it's a really, really good body, this. You know, even the when it's on its chassis, the side frames were very good. The wheelbase was 100% perfect. It's got a beautiful metal tank, diesel tank, that is still better than mine, I think. It's just the shape of it's perfect. It's got like a rounders around the corners. I'm going to sand this one and see where I can get to. Now, let me show you quickly what I've done here while we're busy. So, this is the chassis now. Hello, baby. I'm not gluing it anymore. I'm actually screwing it in there now. The tank gets screwed down so I can get to the speaker if I want to. I've changed the speaker in this one because it's mine to a smaller speaker actually than the one I normally use. The one I normally use is a 30 watt Visathon FRS 8. I've got an FRS 7 in here, running at about 15 watt, I think it is, because we're only pushing 12 watt on the amp on the decoder. So, you know, I had some distortion problems. No, it's not the speaker. It must be on the amp. So, yeah, there we go. Now, to show you some other stuff that we redesigned here. This is very heavy. We also did a new pilot for it. Okay, much cleaner, much easier to mask and do whatever painting we need to do. And then the lift bar, I still enjoy making those out of brass. So yes, this was also redesigned. And then there's the new 35. This is now for a customer, which is the main reason why I'm building that one, so I can start fiddling with the cabs. This is the new cab. We do a resin interior now. Look, I haven't got the seats yet. I haven't got the handbrake. I haven't got there's an extra little cupboard over there that I haven't got yet, which is still at the printers. But we got plenty time. And yeah, this is the 35, which is the smaller brother of the 34. And yes. So yeah, I'm hell of excited because that one is still a PEG cab. This one was ASA. The PEG is much, much stronger. And this is another thing I want to get to. A guy asked me a very important question today, and he said to me, listen, why don't you do the whole body out of resin? And my answer was, and I don't think he really liked it, but my answer was, I don't trust resin. Look, it's fine for stuff like this. If you have a solid basis to which you can glue it to, then it's fine. But a fully resin body, resin is a weird thing. It never, ever really cures. You think it does, but I mean, I've had stuff here that was in bags for months. I put it outside in the sun, and it just curls up. You know, it's like it's still reacting to. It's not UV resistant, so it still reacts to UV rays. And with us running outside most of the time, I'm very, very apprehensive. You know, if you spray it and there's paint on it and it's sealed, I guess yes. That makes it a little bit better, but still, I just don't trust the stuff structurally. I mean, the ASA is much softer almost than the PEG, prone to cracking if you put force on this thing, which is why we went back to PEG, but we got a different one now, different make, and it's a different color. It's the grey one here. That actually sands very, very nicely. Not as well as the ASA. This stuff sands brutally. I mean, I can get this thing so smooth. I mean, that is very, very smooth. This one I've just started now. This is right. I just did the 220 sandpaper on it. I've got to go over the 400 and the 600. That'll be smooth as a baby's bum. So yeah. But you see there on the inside, there was a little mark there that I fixed up now with super glue and stuff. That's what ASA does, which I don't like really. You know, yeah, there was a little mark on the outside there as well, which you will never get with the PEG. PEG is very, very tough. UV resistant, it's beautiful stuff. Nice and strong. I mean, I think my rolling stock and whatever has proven that I can leave them outside. I liked when I've painted and I've done the decals to leave it outside in the African sun for a day or two so that it can do what it needs to do, and I've never had a problem with PEG. Really, really nice stuff. So dudes, yes, this is basically now just to make me take a little break, because I am very, very hot full at this stage for this thing. You know, I've the whole day for a chassis, a diesel tank, and this is how far I am with the body. There's still a million pieces that's got to go on here. But yeah. All right, dudes, I'm gonna go. Thank you. There was another 4 or 5 subscribers. We're pushing 958 at the moment, so we need 42 more for 1,000. And then that is me and you and all of us famous, and we can start monetize the channel. All right, dudes, I'm gonna go. Have a lovely evening, sleep tight, and then we speak later. Goed, tot ziens julle.